All right.
Are you ready? Yeah! I want to know is everybody ready? Yeah! All right, here we go.
Ta-da!
What's up, everyone? Thanks for everyone for
I love it.
filing in here into the chat. This is the 5th installment of the Roundtable review. We've got our usual cast of characters here. We've got Dave, Brittany, and Jory. What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's
Hi.
up?
And then, as you can see, we have the man himself, Bobby, from The Difference is Doing It. What's up, Bobby?
Hey now. Stuck me right in the middle there, huh?
Oh, yeah,
Seat
you're
of
front
honor.
row center. All right. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Super stoked.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Looking here, let's look at our submissions here. We've got 45 submissions. Now, Dave, do you remember, is this the most we've had? Is this up from last week? I feel like it's up a little bit.
Yeah, I think last week was near 30.
Or last month.
Yes, last month.
Yeah.
So, record amount of submissions.
Yeah.
I wonder why. It's so
I
so crazy.
I don't know. Maybe we're just so cool.
It's definitely us.
Not a special guest or anything.
Baby steps. That's how it all grows.
Yes. Well, first I want to thank Bobby for taking time out of his busy schedule to be on this roundtable review. So thank you, Bobby.
Appreciate you guys having me. I'm super stoked.
Yes.
And thanks again to everybody in the chat. How many do we have here live in the chat right now? Let's say,
Well, we got 31 people.
26?
Yeah, we got, I think, 31 people viewing live right now. Nice.
26 people on the YouTube chat. So hell yeah. So let's just let's fire into this. Dave is going to be leading off with his first pick here. Let's see. Pull that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there was a lot of good submissions, and it was
Yes.
hard to pick.
So hard.
But somehow I did pick 2, and everybody picked 2 as well. And after we go through our 2, I think we'll try to skim through everything and just make sure you get a shout out on the show.
I picked 3.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Dang,
Breaking
first
the
time
rules,
on
my
and
kinda
breaking
guy.
The rules.
It's not on the sheet, but there's a 3rd that I have to talk about.
Awesome.
all right.
Looks like we've got
If you want
people talking.
If you want to scroll up just a little bit, it's above that one. There you go.
That one's
So
dope.
this is Die Forge Discs. This is, I think, his second attempt at this method, because he did a first attempt with, what was it, Teddy Bear and Flamethrower, but this is, I believe, on a pyro, and I love everything about it. And it uses a lot of techniques as well. You got the stencil, you got the bed, and what really makes it pop is the shading. But yeah, the flow trail bed with the flames on a pyro, nice, and the shading. Mwah. Brittany,
think
did you
he,
help out on this?
Mm-mm.
I think when he posted that, he was like, I don't know if I should do the background or not. And I like that he didn't add a background because it stays super crisp, like super clean. That fire is on point, and that negative space is just doing it for me.
Mm-hmm. And I like there's basically 3 main colors, right? And they go really great together. You don't need to add more. It's perfect the way it is.
I mean, the shading's so good it looks like puffy paint. Like
Yeah, it's epic.
it does. Like it looks like it's got a 3. It looks 3D.
Uh-huh. It's popping out.
Is puffy paint still a thing?
What is puffy paint?
It still exists.
It's like you used to use it on like sweatshirts and stuff when you would make your own sweatshirts and you'd have like the 3D. I mean, I didn't ever use it, I guess, but
Oh, I have. It's
Okay,
great
good.
fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was very like 90s, I'd say.
yeah, probably
It was
dating
real hot.
ourselves.
Real hot
So-
real hot then.
So like if we're getting real nitpicky, on it. I mean, you've got an edge that kind of touches that gyro rim there, which can be tricky sometimes if you don't get it sealed up just right. It looks like there's just a minor bleed there. Like, but that's like you really like.
Yeah, you're like
scratching at the
hunting
bottom
for
of the
stuff
barrel
at that
for-
point.
Right. Like, dude, whoever this disc is for, they are stoked.
So
They're
stoked.
just
Word.
blown away.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
like-
awesome.
I was gonna say on their first attempt on the other disc, they were, I think, having issues with like trying to mask off the rim or whatever, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
And I think they did a spin dye to fix it, and that looked great. I
Yeah,
think
the first attempt there was like a little line around where the vinyl cut off.
Yeah. So yeah, he did post that disc in here as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
the teddy
think-
bear.
I
See,
remember-
see, it's different.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw it too. I was looking at the shading, and my mental note was, I can work on my shading, if that's what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, I can do better, because if that's what's being pumped out right now, like, I can level mine up too. So
And
And that-
Well
on his
done.
profile, doesn't it say that he's like a beginner disc dyer?
Just learning how to
Just
die.
learning.
One disc at a time.
Just learning. Okay.
Well,
Baby steps, right?
dude, if this is
How
just
about
learning,
those-
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
like,
Baby steps or giant
It's
leaps.
time to get rid of that.
oh,
I
hold
feel
up.
like there's
Look at
so
that.
many people out there. Oh snap! Don't y'all feel like there's so many people out there who's like, they drop pictures of 5 discs and they're like, my first 5 dies ever, and you're just like,
What are we doing?
holy cow!
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
This is
It
how it's
took me
making
about
me feel.
50 to get to that point. Like,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
you're doing it
Die
fast.
Forge is in the chat, and he said it's been a year now. So
Nice.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's still a lot of
Relatively-
progress in a year.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited to see what the next year has in store. If this is,
I
what
should
you're
look at the
putting
chat
out
more.
I also believe he's Wisconsin-based somewhere,
now. Dude,
if I'm not mistaken.
is Wisconsin just like the dying mecca right now? Like,
We have
there's not a-
nothing to do.
There's not a whole lot to do.
That's the same reason like Ohio has all the roller coasters and shit.
Nice.
Jory's getting compliments on the headband in the chat.
Nice.
Yep, yep.
Awesome.
We got a lot of good.
And I think I kind of said this last week. I think most people did, but when you make a submission, if you have like a die name or like a die account, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, make sure you include that, because I want to start. We look at the die and then we like kind of look at your page a little bit. We want to give you a shout out. So yeah, good stuff from Die Forge Discs. Let's see. This was your other one, wasn't it, Dave?
Yes. So I like this one because it's so simple, but it
Yeah.
looks so good in the air when it's spinning.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's
We all want to see it spin.
Yes.
It's
Right.
so bad.
and it's
Yeah.
hard as disc dyers because you have a blank white canvas and you want to put color everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought that was a neat design.
That one caught my eye as well. I've tried that with the little dots, that same type of pattern with the little dots, and screwed it up over and over again. As soon as I saw that, I thought I'm going to try to make one with stripes like that.
Yeah, you're crazy with the dots because you have to weed every single dot.
Yeah,
But they look so good.
it does.
Yeah, and
I did learn
I'm a
that
sucker for
before,
negative
but not-
spaces.
Yeah.
I like the color choices here.
Yeah.
Like they're just all, they look like all blends almost. I'm not sure if maybe they're using straight. I'm not sure what method they use to put it on. Maybe lotion. That's what I would do. But
Yeah.
man, they're just super crisp. Like very good application. I don't see any bleeds. Like
It's
Have you
not
ever
like
in the center.
I was gonna say, have you
Nice,
seen
too.
the video of like the guy with the whiteboard marker in the circle where he draws it and erases
Yeah.
it? That's what that reminds me of.
it does look like that. Oh my gosh.
Totally.
Maybe that's all it is. It's just dry erase markers.
Dylan's in the chat. He said it was a stencil with painted with DA.
DA.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would have done too.
Nice.
I like that instant gratification you get from D. I
Yeah,
mean, it
right.
takes time, but like I don't like sitting and waiting for lotion to
Yeah.
do its thing. So I would have done that too.
It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's 10 minutes
It's
that I'm
10
like,
minutes.
I'm gonna do something else in that 10 minutes, and then it's
Yeah,
gonna be an hour.
You slide it into the dehydrator, and then you go to the other disc that you're working on, and you work on that for 10 minutes, and then it goes ding, and you go, oh, okay. Then you just.
But
switch
now
it.
I'm deep into the other one, and I'm like, no, I like to just stay focused on.
Was that the only one that heard Jory say 10 minutes in robot voice?
I think I heard that a little bit.
Okay.
We're not allowed to make fun of my connection. We're not allowed to make fun of my connection.
He lives
today.
in a bus.
All right, just making sure I'm not tripping.
Well, you could be. I don't know.
Hey, if you're tripping,
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
That's for you to know and us to figure out.
Yeah.
And
We're
this
all
is
on our own
Death
trip,
Putt, isn't
man.
it?
Yes.
Correct. So here's some other stuff from Death Putt.
Some tight wobblers in there.
Cells.
Yeah, we looked at him last
Yeah.
month with the Simpsons. Yeah.
We definitely looked
remember
at
that.
this.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Click that cells at the top. Those are nasty.
This one?
I've seen this one around. I was talking about the very top. So like I see cells everywhere, but rarely it's like I see them and I'm like, oh yeah. Unless it's Lobot, like I don't think anybody else is smashing cells like Lobot is. But like this one, dang, look at that.
Yeah,
Oh.
looks electric.
It looks like when like bands would play live on TV, like in the early 70s, they would have like all that shit going on behind them on the green screen.
Liquid crystal looking displays.
Yeah, that's what this looks like. Like Canned Heat live on Channel 4.
I think it looks like an oil slick.
Yeah, oil slick feels for sure.
Look at that. Some cool stuff.
Yeah, good stuff for sure.
I bet he watched Bobby's video to learn how to do that, because that's how I learned.
The wobbler and
The
twirler.
off-center spins.
Yeah, good stuff. Death Putt. Now we're going to move on to Bobby's picks. Let's get that in there. Is this the first one?
No,
This one.
that's
This one,
that's
yeah.
the one.
We'll come back to this, but thank you, Jeff. But
That's
we're
the
going
one
to
that
get on.
X was trying to talk to me about. X was telling me about that one earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, was it Dark Shepherd Dies?
Dark
that who did
Shepherd
this?
Dies. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
multiple times he's been picked for this. So a returning member.
In in the round table. Okay, I thought you meant he
Yeah.
was like just throwing the same disc in there, and I got suckered into picking it again.
No.
No, I love this one for some of the same reasons that I said on that last one. Just how 3D it looks. Like the shading is so good in every little spot. The other thing I totally dig about it is how it's framed in with something other than a spin, like the stenciled frame.
That is really nice.
Looks super dope. But this, like, no matter how much you zoom in on this one,
Yeah.
it really does look 3D with perfect texture and shading. Which, like Jory was saying earlier, that's the thing I need to work on the most. So whenever someone does it this good, it always catches my eye.
Absolutely.
This one looks printed on. It's like those printed on ones, or
It does.
you know, like there's a lot of AI getting printed on discs, and it looks cool. I always say this about AI stuff. I'm like, looks cool, doesn't feel very cool.
Yeah.
But whenever you put it on a disc like this, there's a different feeling of the process that he had to go through to put it on there. This thing is so sick.
Yeah, I love the
So
just the like
It
the
reminds me of
fade on the background too.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk over you, Jory.
It reminds me of Beast Wars. I used to have this like. That's all good, man. All good. It reminds me of Cheetor from the Beast Wars from like 5th grade. And like, I was gonna pick this one, but you had already picked it. So.
It's okay. You stole one of mine too.
Oh.
I love
I wonder which one.
the decision not to do a black outline and just go yellow all the way to the edge, and
Yeah.
that really brings it to life. You know, that's
Mhm.
where that 3D effect is.
I didn't even notice that.
stronger. Yeah.
Huh.
Dieforge asked if he colored it with DA. I would guess so, but he's in the chat. He'll answer. Said it took forever. I bet.
Is it Chaz Shep? Chaz Shep? That's who Dark Forge is?
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet. Killer die, man. You nailed it.
I like it because it looks like an Axiom disc.
It's an automatic win.
Yeah.
Not because it's incredible, but because it's Axiom.
Yeah.
Yeah, killed it.
Oh, he's
I
got
like,
some different lighting here too.
Yeah, I like his page. Like when you look at the disc, it's got a that background of his deck.
Mhm.
Like that's a really cool like touch to have that similar background all the way through. But then
Mhm.
like you see all the vibrant colors coming through, and you're just like, damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen something like this with like the natural wood grain in the back for everything. It's a nice background.
Nice and consistent.
And I mean, I feel like this has been picked, that's been
Mhm.
picked, that's been
Yeah.
picked.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
I remember
it.
seeing.
feel like-
I remember seeing a few of those in previous episodes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we
I feel like there's a
appreciate that
few-
he's submitting every month.
Absolutely, yeah.
Keep them
Killing
coming.
it, too.
We'll keep talking.
I mean, I feel like there should be like some kind of award if you get, like, doesn't SNL have like
Submitted.
the 5 Timers Club or whatever?
That would be great.
The 5 Dyers Club.
I think we have a few now.
Yeah, it's getting there. And it like I feel like we don't even think like, oh, I'm gonna pick this guy again or that person again. It just, we see it, we like it, it goes on the document, and it gets picked. So
But he said it's the floor in his living room.
oh nice.
Good lighting.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like that's a thing that as an artist, like, or as artists, like, we're just kind of going reckless about how we display and stuff. Like, we're just slapping stuff there. And like, of course, on how to like take a good quality picture of your disc, and like what elements you should be like. I love when there's a foot in the background. Like everybody knows that.
It's so easy to
But
do.
a lot of people don't look at their background when they take the picture. So like,
Mhm.
Love it.
It's very important.
maybe, yeah, I think that'd be a good course. I'll sign up for that. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I
get
can't take a single good picture indoors. Period. Ever.
Me
I
either.
bought a light
Yeah.
box. They all still suck in the light box.
Same.
Yeah, you get glare on them.
It doesn't
I've got
matter.
like 4
Every
different
picture.
spots outside that I go to, like depending on the time of day. Like, all right, the
Yeah.
sun's in the backyard now. Go to this area.
Unless it's a black light picture, they all suck
Yeah.
indoors.
Yeah.
I got an ad for something the other day called the light cone that I almost wanted to try out. It's like a translucent cone that you photograph from above, and it like cuts out the glare or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a dog cone.
Yeah, it's like a big dog cone. Let's get on to Bobby's next mission. Next pick. Let's see.
Chad said I did a base coat of lotion and then do DA for the rest. Yeah, I've thought about doing that a lot. Sometimes I do that a little bit, but it's nice to like have that base layer down first, and then it saves you a lot of time on the shading, which I'm sure this still took forever, but
No doubt.
I feel like you just can hit some saturation points with lotion,
mhm.
like
Totally agree.
really solid. That
Mhm.
with DA it takes a lot of time to really just like if you want that full saturation, slap some lotion on.
If I want
and
bright
then-
pink, it's got to be lotion. I'm
Oh, yeah.
pretty close to having a really good DA, but it's still that lotion pink saturation is a different level.
All right.
Boom. There's my man. Chris from Blind Squirrel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the burnt Joker card. Okay, the thing that got me on this one was just how cool and how well the card looked burnt
hmm
Absolutely.
Mhm.
with his. I'm pretty sure it said that he did that with a sponge and a detergent mix,
Ooh.
Mm.
but it really does it looks like a burnt card slapped on top of the plastic.
It really does.
I got to hang out with my man Chris too for like a day or two at the last disc golf tournament I went to. So when I saw his die up there, it kind of sucked me in. But that burnt card's perfect.
Yeah, and
the
even like
texture's nice.
the saturation in the background's like super, like, I don't want to say burnt, but it's like heavy saturation that
Yeah.
kind of, adds to that flame, the burn effect.
Well, I thought it was interesting that that was a lotion background when, it almost looks like a glue bed.
It has that glue bed kind of style, but like the kind of flat matte kind of look of like a lotion dye.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Yeah, it doesn't look blurry like sometimes lotion beds will get. It's
Oh,
really
wow.
crisp and looks very glue-ish.
I'm definitely gonna.
Lotion on glue is what Chris is saying.
So I've got a piece.
Nice.
I've got a piece that I'm working on for Eagle that's gonna have that texture. So I appreciate him sharing that because that's what I have to learn how to do over the next week or so.
It's so easy to overdo it with the sponge and the lotion texturing. Like how it's got such a good speckle
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to it. If I did that, it would just kind of be like a blended blotch more than all that peppering.
Yeah, or
Yeah, there's.
It looks just right.
It
It's
seems
easy.
like one of those techniques where like you got one shot at it too.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. And it's
Mhm.
easy to like have the same repeating pattern kind of show up, even if you're trying not to. And like in this, you don't see that. There's no repetition of like, this is the shape of the sponge I was using. It's
Yeah.
very varied a lot throughout the card.
Peppered it just right.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
this is the sponge I used last time, and I ripped it in half
Yeah.
to get like different textures
Right.
on the sponge.
Nice.
Instead of having just the flat sponge, right? I was like,
Mhm.
I was doing the moon background on my Nightmare Before Christmas disc, and ripping that off was like, I was like, I gotta change this texture,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Mm-hmm.
it worked out great. So I don't know what he used on that exactly, like which sponge, but
He
it's
said
so
natural
good.
sponge.
Oh, nice.
I believe it, yeah.
Lionheart got the right word, stippling, instead of peppering or
Oh, yeah.
punching.
Nice.
Left under heat for 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
The detergent part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
How much heat?
It's Blind Squirrel Dies. And yeah, if you're not following any of these people, take the opportunity to hop over to their Instagram and give them a follow. Some good stuff on here. All right.
What's he getting on about these explanations behind the disc? What's he writing there? Can we read one of those? Like he's got some little paragraphs going with each one.
All right, here we go. Lotion bed dye with a fire swirl design using Pro Chemical and dyed Caribbean blue, fire red, creamsicle, dandelion, and a little bit of iodide poly black. And then it's sponged the iodide poly brown on the card and the rest. The Joker skull was painted with neon purple, creamsicle, aqua, and lemon zest lotion dyes.
All right, very cool that he laid out exactly how he did it, but
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
kind of hoping for a story. I was like,
Some
where did the
provenance.
inspiration come from? Like, give us some background on this Joker card. Was it used in like a crazy, I want to say card fight, but card game? And like the whole saloon burnt down. Like that's what I'm looking for.
Mm,
So if there's anything to say to do better, it's that.
It's
Yeah.
make up a crazy story about a
Sure.
gambling situation.
Jory wants you to tell him a story for next time. But yeah, I like that idea.
It is hard sometimes coming up with different descriptions for all your discs. I mean, maybe you don't struggle with that, but sometimes I do.
Disc dye lore.
Yeah. I like to go goofy and light and fun with mine, but maybe I need some more stories.
All right, Good stuff. Blind Squirrel Dies.
Thanks for the awesome submission. Submissions, really. You had 2.
Get it, Chris. All right, my bonus submission.
Bonus?
Was there wasn't a picture, it was just a link. It's actually, you're right there on it, wide-eyed.
That's mine. I'm doing
It
that
is?
one, but you can do it too. I'll pick another one.
No, if you're doing it, do it. That if someone else picked it, great.
I think so. The one underneath the goblin, that one.
Yeah,
one?
either
I mean,
one of those.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to tag team it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna hit it, right?
Yeah.
Hell,
We're a team. We're a team. We're the guild. You know, we work
That's right.
together.
how'd they do that shit?
I don't know. That's why I picked it.
Oh,
It's amazing.
What
Well,
what
okay,
is
you got to
that?
show the other one as well. You don't have to do it right now, but there are
Okay.
2 of this style, and it said, I'm pretty sure it said glue bed. Let's check that too.
I gotta,
It said it took longer to lay out the bed than it would to have paint a disc, basically.
Oh, wow.
Does it say glue
Yep,
bed?
I can see that.
So it reminds me of those Floetrol, or the paint pours where they use like a blow dryer with the flat attachment and they blow it out.
yeah.
But how would you
the
do that
acrylic.
with glue?
And it's layered so perfectly.
There's
Like,
no
without
mixing of
mixing,
colors. Yeah,
right?
that's what I said. How did they not mix and layer?
It's wizardry.
It's wizardry for sure.
They said it was a bed method that took so long to set up and might have been faster just to paint it on the disc by hand.
Yeah, it just said bed, and I'm like, what kind of bed are we talking here? So if you're in the chat, let us know. I'm super curious what the method was.
Oh yeah, JY. That's got to be the who it is, right?
Dip and drag in what? What's your medium?
Oh, that reminds me of
gives-
like how you see
Yeah,
those
this
acrylic
is-
paints with the beads and they kind of spread it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I love when a disc makes me sit there and go, "How the hell did they do that?"
Yeah,
This was one of them for sure.
100%. I love and like they left that negative space, which is just perfect on there.
Yeah, so they're also in the chat and they said it was a dip and drag.
What does that mean?
know what that
Show
means.
us. Yeah, what does it mean?
Like,
You're not
that's
giving me the
interesting.
answers.
Dip something in and then drag it?
Dip
yarn.
yarn in acetone mix, drag over glue bed.
Oh my god, it's brilliant.
Yarn.
It's so good.
I love it. I've watched those
Yes.
videos so many times and I always thought, oh, you got to use Floetrol for this. I never would have thought you could do it in a glue bed.
It's
That's
so
just
dope.
wild.
Way
That's
to think
awesome.
outside the box and like try
Oh, yeah.
something different. It turned
Definitely.
out amazing.
Yeah, those are so dope.
The way this piece is overlapped, like I understand why it took so long because my brain is just broken right now. Like I can't even.
Yeah.
It might need a button. That one might need a button.
Yeah.
Watch out.
You earned the button.
Yeah. I showed my husband that one. And I was like, how did the colors not blend together? It must have been like you wait long enough in between so that the acetone evaporates and go with the next one. I don't know. That one's really cool.
I wonder how many hours he took learning how to like even get to where he could start that. Like that, oh man.
Yeah, and to like lay it out and have like a, I don't know, design, you know?
Am I the only one who has a countdown on his screen? Counting down?
No.
Okay.
No, it's on there to like for time reasons.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
we usually ignore it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the only one who was going to be like, see ya.
We try to keep this because
And
don't want to
Bobby's
keep it too
gone.
long.
Okay. Cool.
We should have told you some information.
Nah,
At all.
Because we're starting to get close, so you know.
Your time is up. We're moving on.
Okay, boom, there it goes. It's nice too that I can see Jory's face again.
I have a face.
Oh, and here, this looks like the same, like an earlier version of that
The
technique.
drag. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that. See, that one's like real smooth. The other one has so much texture to it. Hey now counter. It means that you have to give a hey now. The counter.
Oh, X.
That was X, not me. I can't take credit for
Yeah,
that.
I saw. I
Like,
saw
I
it.
just need to like spam like every single post. Got some good lazy waves
Heck
here
yeah.
too.
Well, thanks for sharing how you did that, because that was awesome.
I'm gonna try
For
it.
sure.
So if you're not following Wide Eyed, follow him.
Do it. Do it now.
Maybe we'll get a video, a reel. See how he's doing these things.
I will go to your second pick, Brittany. Maybe.
It was actually right above that one.
Oh, okay. This
Yeah.
one?
We got to talk about Die Dude. Die Dude finally submitted for us. So if you're not following Die Dude, you should. He's weird. He's out there. He likes to push buttons and test boundaries. This thing is epic.
It is epic.
There's so much shading. The color contrast, I adore. Those natural colors, we don't play with those that much, some of us, because you're always trying to get bright and visible and make the discs easy to find. So knowing how to utilize those natural colors like that takes practice and time, and it's really well done. Like the horns I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a lot of really small stencil lines. So that takes time, practice. It's hard to pick those without getting like little bumps in it, and it's real smooth.
The amount of detail in that stencil is
It's insane.
I don't believe you.
You're lying to us. Jeff Gibson.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that thing is absolute fire.
Pretty much every disc on his page is evidence that it was him who did it. He did it for real.
Yeah.
He did it for real.
It does have his style to it.
Totally. When we were doing the contest on the Dyers page, then he did that raven with the eyeball in his mouth. I was like, dude, this thing is so sick. Like, I kind of approached that contest as like people love bright colors, and so I just did the brightest thing I could, and but what he does right here is just so much detail, so much texturing. It's phenomenal. I love it so much.
And this isn't actually like a character from anything, is it? I don't recognize it if it is.
He called it Bryant in the post.
Well, I think it depended on which which place you saw it. I think he had a different story at different places. My employee actually showed me this at work. He's like, "Hey, have you ever see this? You know who this guy is?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's Jeff Gibson from Die Dude." Like, I have one of his discs. Yeah, lots of fun, weird, offensive, dark, creepy, just all the things. This was another
All the
submission.
things.
It's good stuff.
It's just lovely.
The wood grain's right on too.
Dude, I mean, look at the eyeball.
I mean, art has to be controversial sometimes. So
And like
Yeah, art's a
representative
spectrum,
of
right?
what's happening, current events. It's how we document things.
Yeah, we are the storytellers in a way that, you get all these news outlets and they're jabbering all these words, and like we're putting stories together in a different way. And he's doing the Lord's work with.
He would really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks
So
for
good.
submitting.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at that background too. That
I
It's
know. So good.
almost looks like watercolor where it kind of gets dark around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
The purple tongue really does it for me. With those colors, it's a perfect choice.
All right, I'll get to my picks here. We've got a couple here from Austin Stahlbaum, and it was good to finally see some lazy waves up in here. So we've got 2 from him. Well, actually, I think he actually had a couple more up here. Said, I got into dyeing a couple weeks ago. I want to start doing more spin dyes and cell dyes next. So I'm going to guess that these are all lotion. I feel like these 2 kind of have like that lotiony, but like a glue bed design kind of vibe. So I'm going to assume these are all lotion. But I wanted to get to...
Okay, right.
Oh, go ahead.
A couple weeks, and that's what he's doing. He's putting that out, like that purple, black, white. Oh my God, a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, these 2 look very smooth. I like the color choices. And then we've got a couple lazy waves down here. I like the color choices. The only thing, like, if I could make any kind of critiques or like kind of guide you into like future dyes, and I don't want to be like, I don't know if the goal was for it to look like this or it to be cleaner, but like I like to say, if your goal is like cleaner lines in the future, I get a lot of people that ask me for help getting their lines cleaner. And what I always like to try to tell people is taking that attention to detail with mixing your dyes. I feel like sometimes when you're getting started out, I know like when I first started mixing my lotion dyes, you have a tendency to just, it's almost like cooking where you kind of throw everything in the bowl and just start mixing. And I think that gets, your dyes, like, it almost looks like there's like particulate still kind of in it. So if you want cleaner lines, what I usually try to do is like I put the dye in a glass, a little bit of water, a little bit of Floetrol, mix it, add a little bit of lotion, mix it again, and then it's like this step-by-step process. And the goal is like in the end to get like the consistency of like paint. So you kind of avoid getting this like kind of particulate kind of look in your dyes. But at any rate, still like for 2 weeks, it looks great.
Do you measure your dyes, Red?
I
eyeball
measure them, like mental kind of measuring, you know. I mean, it I feel like it kind of winds out to like a teaspoon of dye, maybe like a half ounce of water, an ounce of Floetrol.
You use like a popsicle stick to mix them?
Yeah, I use like a wooden popsicle stick. And then it's kind of like I have like a set process, and then it's like eyeballing after that, like getting the consistency right. And once you kind of get that consistency going, like you'll start getting cleaner lines. And then I wanted to take a look at this one here. This also, like if you wanted to get like cleaner lines, like something you can also do, like something that goes into keeping things clean and neat is like your saturation time, like your sit time. So something like this, it might have sat for like a little bit too long, or it might have cooked at too high of a temperature, which kind of like has these lines bleeding a little bit. But still, I mean, I feel like even this, like the saturation gives it kind of like an electric look to it.
Mm-hmm. I like that color combination a lot. It's fun.
Yeah, this would be like a good one for like guess the shade. You can like guess the shades of these.
Yeah, it would.
There's a game I'll lose
Roll
at.
around. Well, good thing you weren't here last month.
Yes.
Because that's what we did.
I feel like you guys nailed it though.
Yeah.
Let's see, I feel like I had a picture here. But yeah, any comments from you guys on these?
Like, I thought when you were saying it looked like
ago,
when you zoomed in on that one. Yeah, like it still looks like tight, clean little lines in between all the waves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like the small thin lines help it look sharper?
Yeah, I don't like. It's such a tricky thing. Like, it's hard to explain like how to like lay everything out just perfect. Like, it's one of those things I feel like you almost need to do 100 times to like get the hang of it.
When you're dragging, Austin, are you using? I go back and forth on what's better, like a big fat chopstick or like a thin little kebab skewer.
So it's funny you say that because I feel like the different gauges or the different sizes actually like give different effects. I don't go like too thin or I don't go too thick. It's almost just like a regular kind of size
Back end of a paintbrush.
Yeah. Back end of the paintbrush, yeah.
Yeah. This one looks to me like it was done with a chopstick.
Yeah, like something like a little wider.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it would look way cleaner if it was done with something, if it was raked with something thinner.
Yeah, but I feel like there is like you can go too thin. Like if you do like something with like a toothpick, it's almost like too thin.
Okay.
I think I have a picture up here.
I also wonder if like the taper of the paintbrush has an effect, you know, with how it's moving it.
And here's something I'll recommend too. I feel like I always try to preach like to the like the benefits of doing like a simple glue mask. So something like you can maybe try in the future here is to do a glue mask on these letters here, and it really makes them pop out from the rest of the design.
Mm-hmm.
So especially with like a dark blue stamp like this, it's kind of like fading into the color of the lazy waves.
Right.
Totally.
So I'm trying to start a hashtag campaign called save the stamps. And this is like an example of that because I feel like you can work with the stamp. You don't always have to wipe it, but you can work with it, and all it is literally just a little bit of white glue. Put it in front of a fan, let it dry, repeat the process, and then you come back with like some lotion dyes. So this is like an example for something, you know, if you want to take it like to another level there and like make that stamp shine a little bit, you could try it.
Like if you're going to save the stamp,
if you're going to save it,
respect it and make it part of it.
Toby said a small glass rod works because it's so smooth and there's no resistance through the medium. Interesting.
Yeah, that's
glass is a good idea.
I haven't tried that.
I sell those if anybody needs one.
Oh yeah.
I guess I never gave that a thought of like how smooth, you know, because wood is really rough and grabby.
Yeah.
But the paintbrushes have like a smooth coating on them a lot of times, so that might be because that's what Red uses. That might be making a difference.
Yeah, I have like a just one paintbrush that it's just sitting on the shelf, and I hope I never lose it. It's just like that perfect size.
It's like my silicone straw for glue beds. If I ever lose that, it's just the perfect straw.
Man, Chad is getting spicy up in here.
Getting spicy?
A lot of that's what she said is going on.
Hey now.
And they really want to hear more hey nows. That is the moral of the story in the chat.
Get some buttons going.
It's weird when they come out, my mouth isn't moving, right?
All right, for my second pick here, this is Eric from Paper Disc Dyes. And let's see here. I had to post this as it is my favorite non-stencil die that I have done to date. Glue mask by hand, rainbow cells, and black and white double lazy wave in a yin-yang on a Gateway Warrior. And I believe this was done for was it the Wave So Groovy tournament, I believe?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I voted for this one.
And I mean, I'm a sucker for multiple methods. I'm a sucker for glue masks. I'm a sucker for lazy waves. So this hit all the notes for me.
It's a lot going on, but somehow it still works.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
I think because you have that black and white contrast with the rainbow, which I love, that makes it work.
I feel like this is what a disc would look like if I was on drugs. Wonder how that looks spinning.
I
It's
bet it
like
looks
the
cool.
serious part of your brain and like the create, like right brain, left brain kind of thing.
Very right and left brain
Yeah,
disc.
yeah. The zebra wave is nuts, and I agree. That's what CJ said. Yeah, the zebra wave really
Zebra wave.
is nice.
Yeah,
You know, when I was doing those fly dye hucks, I did one on a glow CD2, and I just did a black and white glue bed, and like that black and white pattern right there, it just the contrast between color and the black and white is just so good. My brain feels like I just got a brain massage. Like, it's so good.
let's pull up there.
I feel like there's not enough of it. Moogly does it with his noir,
Mm-hmm.
his
Yeah.
noir discs.
Yes, I have one from him. That's the black and white one I use all the time.
Oh, we got some Buckeye stuff here too. Nice. It's funny. I played a tournament today, and I was wearing a Mackinac Bridge hoodie, and a bunch of people thought I was from Michigan, and I had to disappoint them.
Go sports ball.
Yeah.
I know who to send all my sports logo requests to.
That stained glass one is pretty wild. It's like stained glass through the middle, and then
Oh wow, yeah.
different things on top and bottom. It's like 3 different discs in one.
Oh, and it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
The Eye of Sauron up top, and
Very nice. So yeah, that is paper disc dies, and I feel like I need to just start doing this every time. Just spam like, spam like, spam like.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, again, if you're not following paper disc dies, drop them a follow. And thank you for the submission. So let's get to we got Jory's 2 picks. Let's get
Oh,
those.
it's me already?
Yes, sir. Come up.
All right. Can you read the caption at the top of that one real quick on the submission?
Is this your pick?
Yeah.
that was
that's my
one
first
of his. Yeah.
Yeah, so it says, I started dying recently. I got a message from Dave to check this place out. Here is my work so far. Please throw me some tips. Here are my first 4 dies. I will add more on here as I finish them. Thank you.
All right. So I just loved what he put in there. All of it. It was just all good. You know, started recently, joined the guild, throwing out bangers, looking for tips on how to hone that craft, right? I don't like saying things like get better because that's a weird thing to say, but hone his craft.
Mm-hmm.
And like this one, it comes from, I think it's called Borderlands.
Oh,
Is that the game?
I think so. I think that's what it's from.
Yeah, that was a fun game. And this little character, I love it. I love the use of a shaving cream bed. Like, we need more shaving cream. Don't let it die. Do not let shaving
Amen.
cream die. Like, that's where I first started. Like, it just has a special place in my heart. There's some really cool negative space in that bed that he made. You got greens, blues, and yellows, and I think the green comes from the blue and yellow mixing. I bet this thing looks fire under a black light.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super good saturation. The difference between the yellow on the shoulders and the rim of the hat, the body of the
Yep.
robot, and
Yep.
the yellow of the duck.
Mm-hmm.
That is such good detail. Like
Yeah.
to have those all a different hue of yellow. Well done in that regard. The grays look good. I would say if you want to take this a step further, learn or practice shading. Like you kind of have some shadows built into your stencil, and that's great. But like, imagine like taking some denatured alcohol and like Dark Dungeon or Eye Poly Black and painting those shadows in. you can really add some depth to it in that regard.
Shadows are so hot right now.
So
If you can do shadows and shaving cream, then you got your own thing going on, you know?
For
I think
sure.
the shaving cream background really works for this because it feels like there's a lot of movement going on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He's flying off that disc, and that's what's cool about shaving cream is like when you do those mounds, you just get that.
Yeah, it's
Full
really
speed look to
making me want to go and like do a shaving cream burst like right now, like because I feel like we've all like. I mean, did you guys start like? I feel like that's usually like one of your first.
I've done two ever. I need to do more. I have been looking at them and like, this could be really fun. Apparently, this character's name is Claptrap, which is great.
Nice.
That is correct. That is correct. When I started, all there was shaving cream. That was that was
And
it.
it's great. There's
We were
nothing
just-
wrong with that. Like, it's great.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
I feel
let
like
it
it's
die.
one of the easiest and most accessible forms of dyeing. You know.
Sun Chaser uses it a ton, and Sun Chaser's
Yep.
putting out awesome stuff.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Daylong dies too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elliot Daylong, he just he just smashes them, and his swirls that he does with them,
Yeah,
they're just
so-
on point every
So
time. man.
nice. What I like about this one is it seems like somebody who's like, I'm gonna do a bunch of research and then dive in. Like there's such different, we all have different strategies. Like I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm just gonna go for it. And then you have people who are like, I'm gonna like learn as much as I can, I'm gonna watch the videos, I'm gonna use my resources, and then I'm gonna try. And it worked because this is incredible for I said what, a few weeks of dying.
Was one of
For
the first
sure.
4.
First 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 10 different techniques going on just that one of his first 4 did.
So
Like
wild,
you're already
man.
throwing
It's
out
so wild.
stencils. Yeah, look, all these.
Oh yeah, he's got another one here.
He's got, I think, one more too. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's very
He's got-
impressive.
He's got the
using
glue
lots of
beds
techniques.
down. He's got the shaving cream down.
Uh-huh.
Like lotion painting on point.
Just give up now. You've reached peak performance here.
Forget everything I said about baby steps.
Justin, you're a natural.
You're a natural. Keep doing it. Get that
Yeah, this-
DA mixed up and give me a video chat.
Yeah, this Donkey Kong dye is so clean.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
Awesome use of space.
Still trying to get stuff that clean.
Mm-hmm.
I like
And I
the
will say
different
that
colors
that's
of browns
great.
because you have that light brown, then you have the dark
Mhm.
brown, and it like
Mhm.
matches perfectly for the Donkey Kong color.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Like
It's
you
very
nailed it.
impressive.
I don't believe you.
Please tell us you're lying. Must have taken a Dyers Guild class. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
He's taken
Had
all
to
of them.
be. Had
So
to be.
Yeah, keep pumping them out, Justin, and feel free to drop them in the next episode. We want to see more from you.
mhm.
Oh, the runner-up
Alright.
disc.
I
I had to
love
pick this one.
I
That's
love
the one
this
you,
comment.
that's the one you stole from me.
You know what? I looked at what you had picked, and I was like, I can't believe he didn't pick this one, and I threw it in there. I had to. Let's have Austin blow it up for us. Or do you want to read the caption first?
Yeah. So yeah, here's my runner-up disc. Congrats, Jory. Yeah, don't stroke Jory's ego more.
No,
So, yeah.
don't stroke my ego. I do not need that right now. Please
Nah. Though technically not a die, I'd also love to get some feedback on the logo. Okay, so yeah, the logo not technically a die. Love to get some feedback on the logo you designed and had some help from a graphic designer on the coloring. So you want to start with
Let's
the die
talk-
first?
Yeah,
the-
let's talk die first.
Yeah, stock die.
So let's talk about how everybody's jaw hit the floor when this was posted.
Donkulous.
Yeah.
Austin Horner, what are you talking about, man? Okay. So I'm sorry, I saw that comment. I can't help it.
Stroke Jory's ego.
When I saw this shoe, it literally floored me because I was like, there's no way this is a disc die. Like this is probably one of the
Printed.
few that I'm like, Did
Yeah.
he print that? Like,
Printed.
it's
Please.
absolutely stunning.
That background.
Did it have
The
you sweating a little
background,
bit?
like, oh my, you know what? There were a couple people who were like, Jory, you better do a banger because Sam's he's gonna bring the heat. Like, this disc is looking good. And I'm like, cool. And there were a couple people that I was like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, check it out, how far I am on this. Like, kind of bounced it off a few people who, weren't going to say anything. But like, I don't even know where to go with it. Like, when I saw this, okay, so as Sam and I were working on our projects for that competition, I was just trying to hype him up as much as I could because I wanted it to be I just wanted absolute fire. I kept telling him, I was like, let's blow everybody's minds. Like, let's just splatter brains on the walls with our artwork. And he did that. Like, Sam absolutely slayed this piece. And I still look at it right now and I'm like, I feel like this is a die max and they're just selling hundreds of these in mass production because it's so cool. I can't even talk about the technique because I'm not that good. Like, I can't put color that close to each other without getting some blur going on. And like all these little tiny negative space white dots and like all these little detail lines you're going over right now. Look at that little like go to your left and up. See that little patch of like orange and white and like in the top corner of that orange piece? Like, it's right dead center. Go. Yeah. Like, what the heck, man? The detail in that is insane.
For just that little blotchy spot, right?
For a background.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm like,
yeah.
You could just stare at this one for days, and each time you look at it, you're going to find more details that are just so jaw-dropping.
The thing that blew my mind was that treading in the rubber on the front.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, what the actual... Damn,
Yeah,
bro.
as a lifelong wearer of Converse, this is immediately what I was drawn to right here is the detail on the toe.
I can feel it, like when I
Yeah.
I can feel it in my fingers. Like I remember sitting in 8th grade and like rubbing my finger on that.
Yeah,
as like
it's that treading is amazing. It's all amazing.
And it's like the perfect color. It's like that's exactly what they look like.
Yep. Once they get like a little bit of dirt in those cracks.
But you want that. Like, you want your Converse to look,
Yeah.
your Chucks to be
I like
worn in.
I like how they left the outside white, the rim white.
Yeah.
Instead of like a black spin die to frame it up, the white frames it up.
Yep. It keeps it lighter and it pops even more.
It ties because there's a lot of white throughout the disc, like purposeful.
But if you look at the balance of the shadow, the black shadow underneath, like I don't think most people when they look at this realize how much balance that brings into this piece. Like, masterful, absolute masterpiece, Sam.
Yeah, that one's S rank.
I wonder where they got the stencil from.
I don't know.
It's awesome. And again, there's so many spaces without the black outlines, which is awesome. And I think he's maybe actually stroking his own ego to be like, second place to Jory. It wasn't about Jory. It was about him.
Yeah. My two pieces that I entered for that contest were self-portraits at different times. But we won't get too far into that because this is
A lot of outer
show.
space theme going on there, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, Sam, I'm just still like every once in a while I go back and I just look at this because it's so good. And the Santa Claus you did too. Like, phenomenal.
Yes. I don't even vote because I'm just like, I'm not picking between these two. I can't. I won't. I can't pick a favorite.
All right. This one.
So it's a bit busy.
Yeah. It's hard to kind of read. Like, you got to really look at the words to pick them apart.
I wonder if getting rid of the black lines that are in the middle, like how he does his dyes without those black lines, I wonder if
Yep.
that would like have the black lines on the outside but not on the inside. If that would help.
Yeah.
And also like match your color palette from your work. Like this has the color palette on this is okay for the design that it is, but knowing your work and knowing that this is not your color palette, draw the colors from the color palette you use in your work and put it on your logo. Like that's going to connect people boom right away to it.
Yeah, and you can try to change the font weight and like the canopy disc golf to make everything a little bit more balanced. I don't know how to do that without messing around, but the canopy is like really large and on the top, and the disc golf is like you could put disc golf on a single line or something like that. So the font size doesn't have to be the same through everything. You got to find that balance.
Listen to Dave on this one. Maybe hit him up after he's not losing his mind getting everything ready for this, because Dave is a master at creating logos and putting something together that's super clean and readable. I'm not the biggest logo creator guy in the world, so
my initial thought was like have disc on top and golf on bottom, but have them be the same font, and then have canopy through the middle. I don't know, but with a different font could be more circular.
I like that idea for sure.
Well, hit me up if you want any more advice, or if you just want me to make fun of you, I can do that too.
He's really good at that too.
If I make fun of you, that means I like you. So
same. I'm the same way. I get it.
I love you, Jory.
Yeah, Dave, we'll talk later.
We'll do that off air. But yeah, thanks everybody for your submissions. Those were all of our picks. I feel like we got some time here. If you guys want to start scrolling from the top here, we'll kind of hit everyone's die real quick.
Yeah.
Bang it.
All right, let's do this. This is Justin Haley. I've been dying a little over a week, and he's got some giant cells.
Those are some fat cells.
So big.
Those might be the chunkiest cells I've seen in a while.
Those cells are just so thick
and veiny.
Oh my god, it wasn't me this time, thank goodness.
Holy moly.
It was
Hit
you
the button.
started
Hey
it.
now.
I know it was. You took it to the next level though.
I like how it kind of fits with his tattoo as well. Sort of
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm leaving that in there.
I'd say work on that background. You know, if you got a busy disc going on, and when your background is busy in the picture, it's harder to focus on the details of what you're presenting to us. So slap that thing down on the floor where there's nothing going on, take a picture of it, and that'll really accentuate or allow us to focus on what we're looking at. But stellar dye, looks great. Good color,
good
color
colors.
balance. And
Just
Excellent
started
webbing.
dying. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yep, my first cell beds did not look like that. I don't remember exactly, but didn't look like that.
I like the thin webbing in the upper right where there's kind of that turquoise gradient. That looks cool.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's not mud. You've success right there. Right there. Color contrast. Clear cells. That's what you want.
Yeah, for sure. Do a couple more and get them on the next show. Like I want to see like progress, like even month to month, show to show.
Love it.
And then of course a regular here,
Our guy.
Dojo Designs. With
CJ.
some more
Still the
bangers.
first. Always the first to post up for us.
CD.
So
Like
CJ will
clockwork.
be helping out in Florida at the Disc Golf
Ooh.
Dyers Guild booth. So
Nice.
stop by and say hi, and he'll teach you how to dye some discs as well.
He might give you some secrets.
Was he the one that might do a AI class? Or was it someone else?
Oh,
Yes, CJ, you need to do that AI clinic.
Just
Kingdom
maybe.
Hearts.
Do y'all hear the way Dave says that? That gives me that's a trauma of my life. Like,
I know
I've promised
Wait, go
promised
back
a
to
lot
that.
to Dave in
Yep.
like doing classes and stuff, and I haven't followed through on a lot of it. And Dave, he gives me that tone, and I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I'll do better.
I
Do
know.
better.
Try harder.
I know CJ's been pretty busy as well. I don't know if you saw like the 400 discs that he's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big old stack. This is super cool. I love the swirls in the sky. I never would have thought to like make it kind of chunky like that. It's cool.
It's like a Van Gogh sky.
And like the grass almost looks like shaving cream, but I don't know that it is.
Sponge
Lots of fun
texture.
stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Fun colors.
Oh, this one caught my eye
Beauty.
too.
So
Yeah.
good.
Gorgeous.
Love just the minimal amount of color here, just like on the tongue and the forehead.
I want to boop him and pet him and
You're such a good boy.
Yeah, pet
be
your
best
dog.
friends. I want to be best friends. Got pet your dog.
Yeah, pet your dog.
The goodest boy.
Beautiful.
Probably not
Yeah,
fun
I think
to weed.
I think
So
I think
much
some
weeding.
of the discs people drop in here are like a flex, and they're like looking for an attaboy. So like, let's say like solid flex, attaboy, keep doing it. Like,
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah, we need an
stellar die.
attaboy for
Like,
sure. Sometimes I don't want to pick the attaboys, you know? It's like, all right, you're awesome. I get it. Don't want to, create too much ego. It could be a problem.
And then another regular here.
Oh, yeah.
Certified banger.
Okay,
Don't need a
Al.
name to know who that is.
We
So
get it.
good.
You're a badass, and we will never be as good as you. At
We're
that.
gonna give you a solid attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy trophy.
Has he mentioned whether or not he's controlling the speed of his turntable? Like able to
I don't think we
adjust
talked
the
about that.
speed down to
So-
this one over my shoulder, I don't know if you can see it in the thing, was made for me by a friend, and it has a dial that lets me adjust the speed down to like super duper slow.
So on the podcast, he said he didn't have any special record player. He just goes at the lowest speed at 33.
Okay.
Okay.
It's,
So wild.
so it's just
Times
mad
it.
skills.
Just
Yeah.
times it so
Practice.
much.
Yeah,
But let's
Justin,
also talk about how he's a 1,000 rated disc golfer. Like, this guy, he throws bombs, like absolute bombs, and he can putt.
Hmm.
So there's that.
Attaboy.
Justin's in here and he did confirm it was 33 RPMs.
Oh yeah, I
Thirsty.
see him there.
JL.
Nice.
Crystal clean.
Love the colors in that one too.
So when you slow it way down, do you have to like make sure you get the excess off the brush so that, or do you using a Q-tip so that you don't get like globs, like sometimes on the
haven't.
record player?
I haven't used it for a lollipop spin yet.
Okay.
I don't even want to try because I know I can't do it.
I am so bad at those.
I appreciate this one a lot because it's the dark wave style that I don't know. I feel like I was the first one to really hammer it home, but whenever I see those dark waves come up, I really appreciate them because I don't know. They're good.
Yeah.
I like how it connects to the tree. I don't
Yeah,
think that was on
that's the best
purpose,
part.
but
It's just perfectly lined
It's
up
like
the country.
It's like a little bonsai, like a Tim Burton bonsai.
It's like a
It
road.
is a Tim Burton
Yeah.
bonsai.
Yeah.
I was
Like a-
wondering, it almost looks like it might be like a second generation bed from this one. Justin again.
Oh, possibly.
With
yeah.
some manipulation, you think? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
I think you might be right.
it definitely could be.
Did I scroll past?
Scroll
Yeah.
better, Red. You're the host.
I got excited. Sorry.
Hey, I'm
I
not the
saw
only
it.
one yelling at people now.
Oh yeah. That's the
I
same,
saw a die I
same
liked.
That's the same background as
Yeah.
his other pictures.
Yeah,
You are
good call on
correct.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I like the flow of it. It's great. Good. We keep working with that. Like, don't let that style go out of fashion. Like,
Definitely.
Die Dude said JL is the undisputed lollipop champion of the world.
Mhm.
Oh, they want more Hey Nows. They're like, where's that Hey Now?
I got some handos.
Well, Ivan definitely deserves one for this.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
do you know, each Hey Now cost me a couple bucks. Licensing fee.
Oh, that's why we're keeping them minimal.
Yes.
Yeah, this is our man Ivan.
Ivan.
Stylicious dyes.
Mhm.
Lots of little lines.
A local asked me, "You can't make this, can you?" Challenge accepted.
Yeah,
Toughest
buddy.
weed job for me
Yes.
to date. I believe that.
It looks like a lot of little weeding. A lot of those tiny
Yes.
little lines.
Oh yeah.
Got to use like a needle to pop them up.
Mega
And I love like the
detail, dude.
watercolor.
Yeah, that's what I was
Vibe of
thinking
this.
too. Total
Mhm.
watercolor vibe.
Yep.
The whole color scheme is great.
Ivan, is that what kind of plastic was that on?
And how long did it take you to weed?
Yeah.
I bet it was a
weed.
while.
We need details.
We want all the deets. How long did this take?
I
Was
love the
it-
coloring of the frog's skin by his face and like his arm, like how it fades from that frog green to like the tan underbelly.
Yes. Yes.
Like, oh, you did so well with that. And his eyes, like the
Yeah.
yellow, like, oh,
yeah.
dude.
I
you
love how the
slayed this
yellow and the
piece.
red are really bright, and then the rest is like that watercolor effect, and it just makes certain
Mhm.
things like pop. I wonder if it was like you have to match this coloring, or if it was like this is the design, color it how you want.
Yeah, dude, this
Mint
is so solid. And the
discs.
style of the painting and like the Japanese kind of influence of the design and the watercolor, it fits so good for this piece.
He said it took me fucking hours.
Worth every one. You killed it, bro.
Yeah, just hours plural. Probably lost track.
Yeah,
I would
did
too.
not hit the time.
He's like, I was busy running a business in between, so I don't know exactly. You
Yeah,
know,
no shit.
We were dropping cap wraps and lunas and all kinds of shit.
busting out shipping labels in between. No big deal.
Yeah. Here's another one from Justin. Is it called a spiral Betty? Is that
Yeah.
what this is called?
Yeah.
Yep.
He went with the skinny spiral bed. You can adjust how like wide your
Mhm.
circles are, and that one's
Okay.
pretty skinny. They're
So-
harder to weed when they're really skinny.
So
Yeah.
like if you like put your face closer or farther away from the spiral Betty, it's crazy what it does to the detail. Like
Or if you
it's
squint.
so good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how does this work exactly?
Right?
You you picture into the website, and it just like generates it, and then
Yeah.
you just
Okay. Because I see these all the time.
they just like pull one single
You're so
if you're
right.
lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Yep.
I've always wanted to try one, but I'm also always afraid that I'm going to pull the wrong line.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Well, luckily there's no die down yet, so it just means you got to pull the other one up and redo it.
I'd
So is
say
it like-
just,
Like, do you lay
I'd
the
say-
stencil down, like pull one set and then lay the black down and then pull
Mhm.
the rest of it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, start in the middle. Start in the middle and hope it just stays together.
I use 2 sets of tweezers and like push down as I'm pulling up on the other one because sometimes those lines get really thin. I'd say on this one, just like very good. It looks fairly centered. But also like there's a few bleeds. So like once you have that, once you have the weeding done, it's really easy to avoid those bleeds if you just take your scraper or squeegee or whatever and go over it a few times, like in that circle, and press them down, and then you don't get any of those bleeds when you hot dip or whatever method you're using.
My worst ever commission was a spiral Betty, and it was on a pyro, and I wiped the stamp, and it was the manager of Manchester soccer team, like just some dude like laughing, something silly. And I did a practice one, everything was fine. And this one, I I did the whole thing and it had bleeds right where it said pyro, which happened to be on his forehead. So it was like this dude laughing and it just said pyro on his forehead. And I was like, I'm so sorry, man. I'll make you another one. Like, no big deal. He's like, what are you going to do with that one? I was like, I don't know, black it out or put it up on my wall or something. And he's like, nah, I'll take it. I love it.
I've seen people doing some coloring and shading on those as well to make it pop.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. It's a good way to get like a photorealistic image on a disc without a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's see what else we got here. And here it is. From Jeff.
Oh my god.
I'm sure you've seen it. If you've been on Facebook recently, you've probably seen it by now. And
Too much.
Facebook, Reddit.
Yeah.
It's
There's nothing wrong. It's just it's a former president and a former first lady. Like, there you go.
embracing,
No. There you go. Embrace it.
Putting
not-
their differences aside and just
Right.
rocking
Unity.
with it.
uniting
You
parties.
uniting.
I feel like a skin tone can be a little bit more orange.
You could be a little more orange.
Good.
That's far too realistic of a skin color.
The hair's not quite sticking up enough.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
It's not
gets more
grotesque at
frightening.
all.
Yeah, it gets frightening with the zoom.
Yeah.
The thing that kills me is just the hearts at the top. Like you could have just kept just the faces, but these hearts at the top.
Well, it was a
I'm
Valentine's
losing.
Day release, The
Now we
timing was just
know
right.
it's love.
Yeah, exactly. It ties the love together.
Oh, he's such a smart ass. It's great.
And then the caption, LOL.
I love making people squirm, and I think he might get that same enjoyment.
Yeah, it's just a part of art,
Yeah. Just testing boundaries. I love this one so much.
That was going to be my third pick.
That was also it was hard. I tried to pick people we haven't looked at before, but
Perfect
beautiful.
fills.
awesome colors, awesome texture. The shading. It's gorgeous.
I think you just like it, Brittany, because the mushrooms are just beautifully shaded.
I do love a good
Yep.
shaded mushroom.
Yeah.
Same. Very clean work.
So clean. I do love Alice in Wonderland too. Like it's definitely a childhood favorite that crossed over into adulthood.
It's another one from Chris. Beauty.
Snowflakes look so cool.
I think that was this part of the Wave So Groovy. I think they had a snowflake competition. I don't know if this was part of that or not.
I love the multiple pictures too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
pick,
nice.
The close-ups.
I like it. I just wish the skull wasn't as dark as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the black lines got extra thick.
I'd almost lose the mountain and just do that and make it bigger so it could be more clear. I don't know.
More detail.
Mm-hmm. Super cool design.
I was just looking at the background, the snowflakes. Nice.
Mhm.
I'm assuming like glue dots.
Or dots in the stencil. But yeah, it does look a little, I don't know, it looks pretty,
Looks pretty looks organic.
yeah.
Mhm.
They aren't
Organic.
perfect circles.
All
Like the little bit of purple there by the
Mhm.
mountain.
Mm-hmm. All detergent sponge dye.
Another regular here, Smintini.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Super
one's
cool.
so good. I love it.
You pronounce that so much better than I would have. Yeah, that stencil is just righteous. Never seen anything
Uh-huh.
like that.
Uh-huh. Good skin tone, good shading in the body, fun hair. The background is stellar. I think like Smintini does just amazing backgrounds.
Yeah. It doesn't matter like what the design is. You know, the design or the character can vary, but like you can still kind of spot it as one of his
Mhm.
pieces. It's very
And it's not
unique.
like he's the only one using sponge and glue, but somehow they still stand out as so different.
Oh, okay. Deception Designs, Michael Short. Beauty.
Yeah, these are super cool.
Is this like the most giant overmold too on a disc? Dave, what disc is this?
It's like a 17 speed or some crap like that.
Jeez,
The Octane.
insane.
I think it might be. It's thick.
Yeah, great stencil, great colors on this.
Like the contrast with that yellow, orange, and blue.
Like the eyes. It's got like the eyes color, but then like the blue's also peeking out around its head too.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his other one, the white tiger. I like the
Yeah.
colors.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like that.
Jory,
Mhm.
got a little something in there for you too.
What do we got?
Got some feet.
Oh, wait. Let's see where they're at.
Oh yeah. Wait.
They're
Oh, yeah.
shoed.
Are those
Alright.
Keens? I wear Keens. They're the best.
I can't make it out.
They are kind
Zoom
of.
out.
I'll tell you what, it's leaving a lot to the imagination.
There you go. Even better.
Oh boy.
You fill in those gaps.
Oh boy.
So on to the die.
I love the neon with that black and white contrast.
Yeah.
Always a good choice.
For whatever
Always.
reason, it reminds me like of an angry Lisa Frank.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been thinking lately I need to do some like Lisa Frank style.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I did a Lisa Frank saber-tooth tiger on a glitch that turned out pretty rad one time. Like I went full neon purple, neon pink, and all
Yeah.
that. It was fun.
I think there's some scandalous history with that company though.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
This is another from
This one is
Disney.
clearly printed as well. So
yeah, printed
attaboy.
disc. Yeah, delete. Kick that one out of here. It's printed.
You get an attaboy.
But who doesn't love Deadpool? Like Deadpool's the greatest.
Yeah. Kind of broke
Time.
the internet too.
Timely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's part of our work too. Is like when we're pumping out these pieces for sale or for competitions or whatever. Like we've got to have an awareness around like what's going on in the world. You know, what are people chewing up right now? And
For sure.
Yeah,
that can
whatever is
definitely
really
be part
popular,
of it.
I just don't do for some reason.
Or, but
I'm
there's
like,
also
I got to be a rebel.
Yeah.
like there's stuff that's like currently popular, and then there's stuff where like one time I did this MF Doom piece, and I didn't even know who that was, and he was a rapper who died, and like I dropped that piece and everybody freaked out. Like
Went
it was,
nuts.
at the time,
Yeah.
one of my
It was
most
huge.
viewed. Yeah, and like I had no idea. I just did what the guy asked for.
Just doing what I was asked.
You know, I ended up making like 6 or 7 of them. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Got another from Smintini.
Smintini.
I like this
Love
signature. I
it.
don't feel like, do we usually see a signature on the front? Do that more.
More of that.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's a great touch.
Yeah, this is a mint disc jackalope, and I feel like this is the skull of the jackalope.
Yes. So good. Love the shading.
Got his logo on there. Beauty. Oh yeah, and you can see the stamp there. There's the jackalope stamp impression right there.
Looks like there was a little bleeding, but it works. You can't tell.
It looks like crackles in the
Yeah.
skull.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about bleeding real quick. Like, clearly there's some areas where bleeding, like I think like when an edge of a piece of vinyl is not down all the way, you get like those bubble bleeds. That can be avoided. But like with the way stamps are and how
Mhm.
deep they are, like I've boiled this, used my tool, like spent over an hour easily trying to get, and it still bleeds. I
Mhm.
feel like I feel like bleeds are like those little bubbles. Like I just let them be.
Mm-hmm.
Let it bleed. Let it bleed. You know, like John
Whisper
Lennon said,
words of wisdom.
let it bleed.
Let it bleed. I think you do have to accept it at some point, or just completely avoid any disc that has a deep stamp. That's your two options.
Yep. Yeah. And like when people post their discs up on all the pages and stuff, they're like, oh, it's great, but there's a bleed. And I'm like, if you're gonna focus on that one bleed and disregard all of the rest of the amazing piece of art you just presented to us,
Mhm.
like you need to work on that. Like work on your positive feedback loops and not your negative feedback loops.
In the wrong
And then you're
place.
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. Like
In the
Never
wrong
perfect,
place.
always
yourself.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. Who
Here's
said that?
here
Who said that?
Some guy. I don't know.
what
on
I've
the internet.
what I've started doing in those heavy deep stamp spots is just hot gluing over them, and then doing that little spot by hand with a brush
Oh wow.
afterwards.
Okay.
So Jillian from Happy Tree Dyes has done
Yeah.
a technique, and it's been successful. I don't want to say what it is because I can't remember exactly, but it involves glue.
It was similar.
But
It was
it's-
similar
yeah.
to that with the glue.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because it's like a really deep MVP stamp that she did it on. I was like, oh, nice.
It worked.
Save the stamp, but don't blanking make them
Stamp
so
so
deep.
deep.
Please.
I feel like he was mentioning that to me, that like mint, some of the mint stamps
Yeah.
kind of have a reputation for being pretty deep.
Lone Star can be brutal.
Oh my
Mhm.
God, Lone Star.
I don't
Oh.
even. Now I'm like, if you want this black Lone Star, the stamp is staying, and you're getting a glue bed. That's it. There's no. I don't mess with
Tell 'em
it.
what's up.
I've been traumatized once, and I'm never doing it again.
You know, I applied for the Lone Star Dyer thing they did, and I got it like right away. And I haven't had a single request for a Lone Star disc in probably a year, probably over a
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it.
Hmm.
Must
I
be
feel
just
like-
plastic.
feel like I see a lot. Still see a lot of people throw them down here in Texas, but I feel like I see way more mint. That could be because I'm in Austin and like mint's based out of here, but I see way more mint than I see Lone Star. But
Does Mint use the same neutron type plastic as MVP?
I feel like I think they're the same plastic.
Okay.
So
what I
just
thought.
like, you know, like Discmania used to be molded by Innova, sorry. Is the same
Innova.
thing with, like, same thing with Mint and MVP.
Nice.
Got another here from Justin Haney.
Red would tell you glue mask that stamp. Make a
Sorry,
pop
man,
stamp.
Cruz.
Yeah.
Who messes?
I
I
But
love
still,
it. I love the
yeah.
swirl. Like
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
So he put 3 and 1 dropped in at random before swirling. So that was interesting.
Yeah,
For
I
this.
like it. It's a different
Oh,
direction.
yeah.
Not a lot of people use silicone oil with a clear glue bed, and you got some really cool textures in there with it.
It definitely added something.
Yeah, it's got a super marble vibe.
Yeah, I was gonna
Mhm.
say.
Mhm.
That could be fun. Might play around with that.
Yeah, do it.
You could never stop learning, which is amazing and fun.
We're actually just here to steal all your tips
Yes.
and improve our own dice. That's the whole goal here.
They're mine now.
Been working for years.
Freedom of information.
Dude, this shirt,
Alex just got home.
Chaz, this shirt, you got to go to Terminal Velocity Disc. I don't know if they make them anymore, actually. Sorry, Chaz was messaging,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, it's a good one.
Ooh, I remember seeing this one from Death Put's page.
3D.
Yeah.
That was my 4th pick. The interior cell dyes reminds me of like intestines.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
If only
it
you
look
would have put
3D
brains
though?
on the
Like-
outside.
it's very biological.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely looks 3D.
I dig it.
Yeah. It looks like one of those fancy bowls where you put the dip in the middle and the chips on the outside.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like it has that like 3D kind
Yes,
of texture
it's
Yeah.
to it.
real depth to the ring on the outside.
I don't know what
Ex-
kind of dip that is in the middle though.
Except this
If
is
you
being
could-
served on Tatooine. Like this is,
Yeah.
it's not from Earth.
If you could just stencil some chips into like one corner of that next time and make salsa in the middle, like I'm here for food dyes.
Yeah,
just
that's a
food in
design
general.
idea. Yeah, like some chips and guac.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm into it. I'm getting hungry.
Mm.
All right.
Oh
Depth putt.
yeah.
Sharp.
Off center, warbly,
What a
wobbly.
beaut. I love the double fade that makes it look neon sign.
Yep.
Like, oh, so nasty.
Rounds off each ring.
Mhm.
Got some turtles. I love the simple captions. Like, always feel free to like explain your process and what you use, what you did. But at the same time, it just says turtle power, and I love that.
Heroes in a half shell.
Yeah.
Turtle power.
All right, looks like our stencil's a little. I wonder if they masked over the stencil and it leached out some of the dye. Kind of looks like that. With
Is that like why the lines are so thick?
Yeah, sometimes if you mask over the black lines, if you do it with like Oracal 651, it can like leach the dye out of it and fade it out really quick. It kind of looks like that's what happened. And can you zoom back in on the eyes real quick? Yeah, and they're just a little like, looks like maybe a little thick on the lines for, I don't know, is that even stenciled or is that hand done?
I would assume stencil,
Looks stenciled to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but it does look like
Okay.
there's some parts that are hand done, or like
Yeah.
gone over again or something.
It's not like fully black. The lines. I don't know if that's because it was pulled out a little and blurred or
Mhm.
what.
You know, I like, and the reason why I feel like I come to that conclusion is because way back in the day when I first got my Cricut, I made a Vegeta disc for Eric Oakley, and I messed that thing up. And I definitely used Sharpie to like fill in some of the lines, and it was not good. But those faded lines, like they just look a little faded for how clear that glue bed is and how crisp that glue bed is.
I love that glue
outlines look
bed.
a little faded.
I feel like they used really hot heat because I see a lot of micro bubbles in the bed and in the
Oh, okay.
and that. Since I'm impatient, I use a lot of heat, so I had the same problem.
I think what they might have done is colored the stencil and then covered the stencil and then did the glue bed. Pro tip
Yeah.
is weed out your stencil, dye it black, then do your background, then peel off what you're gonna spot color afterward. If you do it in that order, you won't have to worry about any of those black lines fading out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Got another lazy wave here. Rob started laying with some wavy styles. Was going for a feathered look for the eagle.
Oh, clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some
very
and
cool.
some glue mask action too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Nice.
Something
hot.
so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely makes it stand out.
Absolutely.
Good color choices. I like that.
The lazy wave is so feathered; it really looks like feathers, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very clever. Very
Yeah.
good forethought.
Love it.
Looks like a little bit of a fade around the rim too. I like that touch where
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the black is on the very edge and just a little fade onto it. It's always a clean look.
Frames
Yep.
it real nice.
Very nice. All right. We got John McCloskey.
I like the background on this one.
Love this guy.
Booming.
And it's on an Innova Alien. So we got like the feather on the
Yeah.
eagle. We got Martian on the alien.
Absolutely. Do it up.
Also good that that they didn't get the air bubbles in those little grooves, because that's hard to not get,
Mhm.
hmm
because the air likes to get trapped.
It's a lot of the same colors in the background and the stencil, which can be very risky, but the blue in there really helps offset that and keeps it standing out.
I wonder how it looks under black light, because it looks like there's some of those neon colors.
Lemon zest for sure.
Yeah.
It's like another request that keeps popping up. If you think it looks good under black light,
And the black light pick.
send that black light picture.
If you need a black light, hit me up. I got the flashlight.
Ooh.
Character colors are on point.
Get you one.
Looks great.
Like the-
solid
Yeah,
stencil.
yeah.
The feet, the motion, like stamping off like angrily.
Childhood memories.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
And Zelda?
Stained glass from Fly Dye Discs.
I don't remember that one.
Me either.
That was a late entry that I approved
Later.
today. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like the moisture on it there too. I don't think we've seen something like that yet.
Freshly washed.
Just washed.
Didn't even wipe it off. Didn't even dry it off.
A lot of little details in that guy. It's hard to get that saturation on those clear discs
So-
too.
Yeah.
So I did a couple from this series of stained glass, and I framed them up like that, and I didn't like it. I was like, it's just taking away from how much stained glass I could put on a disc.
hmm
So I took it into Procreate on my iPad. I blew it up. I made a circle. I hand drew in new stained glass in a circle around the character, and like readjusted where that top crest piece was. And like that's super extra. Like I'm not expecting anybody to just go in and do it, but like that's what you can do when you find other stained glass. It's not really hard to draw into stained glass. Like it's probably the easiest form of drawing I've discovered. But that being said, like they did a really good job on this. I just feel like there's about 30% more of that disc that could be making your eyes like explode right now. You know?
hmm
What do you think that purple is kind of like next to the design? Is that like on the right hand side, you can kind of see that circle?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if that's like wiping the stamp or just.
Or a spin die after effect.
It could be a stamp wipe. I don't know.
Stained glass is so hot right now.
It
So
is.
hot. It's so hot.
It is hard. It is challenging finding round, stencils that where you were using all the space up. That's something I look for a lot, trying to get something that fits the space nicely. So I see
Might be
what
cool
you're
to just
saying.
put like a tree on either side of it.
Yeah,
Branches
yeah.
coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
or just
feel
some
like
symbols
stained-
from the game.
I feel like stained glass is even hotter when you wipe off an iconic stamp from like a limited run or whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about that, but
You
just
wouldn't
some
know anything
oil.
about that, would you?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
But yeah, I think that's our last one there.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, great submissions. Thank you to everyone who submitted. These were fabulous and broke another record here for amount of submissions. So it's awesome.
Super exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, I think as we close out here, I think there's a couple pieces of news we have here. I know, Dave, you kind of already announced your piece of news, but did you want to touch on that at all?
What piece? There's so much I can't keep track.
the really, really big one.
The eagle?
Well, oh,
No, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Well,
travel the.
you're gonna travel the
that stuff.
country.
I guess, yes. So the Dyers Guild will be at every single Disc Golf Pro Tour event in 2024. Not the majors, but just the Disc Golf Pro Tour event. So that's 18 events. And my business partner, Austin Horner, will be the one being the... Oh, my God. will be the one being the traveling gypsy going across. So if you are ever at these tournaments and want to dye your own disc, we'll be teaching the classes there. And if you need to buy some dyeing supplies, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to try to make as many as I can personally. But yeah, super excited for that. And if you are a dyer and in the area and would like to potentially help out at the booth, shoot us a DM. But I'm super excited for that.
So cool.
Yeah,
It's huge.
I never thought this would happen, and it's just crazy. I'm just riding the wave as long as it goes.
Ride it.
Heck yeah, man.
I think it's just the waves are gonna get bigger, man.
Yes.
It's just gonna get
Right.
bigger.
And
That's
we're
Great place to start.
we're not made of money, so we're trying to do this on the cheap. So we're building our own cargo trailer / camper trailer. And it's been a lot of work and a lot of late nights, and you can check out the progress on our Instagram. We have a highlight reel for that. Also planning on doing a YouTube video once that's all done, but it's the series called On the Road to the Drive to Die. I messed it up already. But it shows the progress of building that trailer. Then once Austin is on the road, he plans on doing a vlog style of the Drive to Die of his adventures, and really excited for that.
Yeah, very excited for that. It's been
Should
very
be.
entertaining so far.
Yeah.
Mostly just saying the title.
Yeah.
But
I will
also
say-
the rest.
I will say I really miss Dave's presence, but I understand what he's doing. Like,
Hmm It does
we
feel a
miss
little
you,
empty
Dave.
without
Yeah.
you. Like, I guess we do like you after all.
yeah.
Aw. But as soon as Austin's gone for Florida, I'm like, bye. I can finally do my work again.
Yeah, we need somebody to keep us in line because we're just running around like.
But you're just going to be
hellions.
making
It's not
kits
good.
to send to him the whole time.
Pretty much. So
Yeah. Did you want to touch on that other piece that you kind of alluded to? This is tomorrow, right?
yes. So this is really all Jory's doing. Somehow Eagle McMahon wants some dyed discs from him, and Jory's going to be doing Dying Live, one of Eagle's discs, and the Dyers Guild will be hosting that video tomorrow. And again, I never thought something like this would happen, and again, it's all Jory's doing. I'm just gonna try not to make fun of Jory too much.
Yeah, I'll be working on this one right here. Like,
Nice.
It's Marco. So this was a piece that I did a little over a year ago, and I just got a message from Eagle. He's like, "Dude, that's so sick." I'm like, "Yeah, you want one?" He's like, "Sure." He's
You want
like, "There's
one?
a couple other." I was like, "Is there anything else that you'd be interested in?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a list of things," and
Like, all right, I'll
we
do
just
that.
started chatting. And what's funny is he hit me up before he switched from Discmania, and I started like buying a bunch of Discmania discs to do
Oh,
this
man.
project for him. And then I was like, "Hey man, I've got all these discs. What do you want me to?" He goes, "Just wait a minute." He's like,
Yeah,
"Just gotta wait a
yeah.
minute." And I was like, "Oh no!"
Ooh.
And I didn't know where he was going. He didn't tell me, but like when MVP started doing their weird posts, I totally guessed. It's like it's got to be Eagle. And yeah, I'm stoked. Like,
hmm
So
hmm
definitely tune in for that tomorrow. That is, I think it's 7 p.m. Central Time, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it's on the Instagram post and everything. So
Yeah. Excited, nervous. Yeah. Jory, don't mess up his
I
disc.
mean, it's not Simon, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Mess it up live.
I just want to say real quick, like that is one of the cool things about like the dye community is like Jory just being like, hey, I've got this little bit of sway. I'm going to use it in a positive way to like help out the guild. And like Bobby showing up and being like, yeah, I don't need more views, but I'll come help you guys out. Like Xander, you know, bringing a disc to Lambo, like everybody's just doing things out of the kindness of their heart. And you get to see that a little bit. And just like these small little ways of just kindness and generosity that we need in the world. So I really appreciate that about you all.
Yes.
Aw.
It's a guild. It's all good stuff.
Yep. And then Brittany, do you want to share your news about next month's episode of the Roundtable Review? We got a little something special in store.
Yeah. So next month for the roundtable, it's Women's History Month. So we're gonna have an all-female cast, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of female submissions as well. Some of the boss ladies that have been just cranking out awesome work. We still want everybody to put their submissions in and join us in the chat. We'd love to see a huge, backing from all you guys, because I think that's what's awesome about the dye community is doesn't matter male, female, something else. Everybody's welcome, and I think you guys are going to show up for us, so it'll be really fun. Look forward to that.
So thanks again for Bobby for joining. And if you haven't seen any of his videos, like I said before, where have you been? If you're a dyer, you have to have seen one of his videos.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from him, so definitely go check out his stuff, his videos. He's got a huge catalog of stuff, like
Everything you want to know.
yeah, and it keeps growing. So he's got great content, and definitely go check him out.
You guys are the best. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Thanks for joining, man.
maybe you can be on again.
Yeah.
Doors always open.
Sounds like fun.
Yes.
Throw a submission up there.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm excited to put a piece in next month. When I'm not on them, I like to throw a piece up there.
Nice.
I'll rip it apart. I have no problem with that.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Exciting stuff coming up for everybody.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we will close this episode. Again, stay tuned for next month for the all women's. So, what is my saying again?
Get the box.
I have it written down. Where
Find
is
your
it?
line, craft your piece. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Peace.
Have a good one.